There you go. That's what wives are for.
Hold on, honey. I wasn't gonna do that.
I noticed you're holding hands over there. It seems like being the president would put quite the damper on the romance.
I don't think there's any damper. She's better looking than when I met her.
Did you hear that?
So
I did.
and it's true.
And it's on camera.
You can look at the pictures. She was fine then and finer now.
Okay, that's enough. He's got a little swag, you know? He's a stylish, I think, man who is healthy and he's smart and he's passionate and he's inspiring, and who wouldn't fall in love with that, you know?
Michelle LaVaughn Robinson, you have not only been my wife and mother of my children, you have been my best friend. You have made me proud, and you have made the country proud.
Decades in public service, 2 grown children, and more than 30 years of marriage. Today, Barack and Michelle Obama are embarking on their second act after careers and a romance full of the highest of highs and some painful lows.
We went through our rough patches.
I don't want people looking at me and Barack like hashtag couples goals.
Yeah.
And not know that, no, there are some broken things that happen even in the best of marriages. There were 10 years when I couldn't stand my husband.
The thing that I think we were good about was talking stuff through, never losing fundamental love and respect for each other, and prioritizing our kids.
And this power couple never would have met if it weren't for a law firm in Chicago.
Out of nowhere comes a young man with a very peculiar name, and you were supposed to be his mentor.
And then I had to call him on the phone. It's like, hello? And I was sort of like, whoa. I really was like, whoa, the heat was coming out of the phone from that voice. But then he was late, and I was like, trifling black man late on the first day.
She's just she's a stylish person, and she's tall and elegant, and you know, she attracts attention when she walks into a room.
I was smitten almost from the second I saw her.
He asked me out probably a month in, and I was like, dude, that would be so tacky. The 2 black people from Harvard, you know? I was like, that's just what they're waiting for.
Michelle was an original. I knew nobody quite like her.
He was a different kind of dude from the very beginning.
He was very
kind of
different,
dude.
and he was different from me, and he challenged me in different ways.
They even challenged each other on the idea of marriage and whether it was necessary. After all, Barack's parents split when he was a toddler. But after 2 years of dating, he popped the question.
The waiter put a platter in front of me with a little box with a ring on it. I was like, what? And I opened it up. He opened up the box and he said, now that ought to shut you up. It did. I mean, this was love, y'all. I knew he was a tsunami coming after me, and if I didn't get my act together, I would be swept up. I didn't want to just be an appendage to his dreams.
They married in 1992, and 4 years later, the future president launched his political career in the Illinois State Senate. Malia was born in 1998 after an IVF journey and multiple miscarriages. In 2001, Sasha made the Obamas a family of 4. And as he turned his ambitions to Washington, life became a lot more complicated.
In those early years of our courtship, our arguments could be fierce.
Something had to give, and it was my aspirations and dreams. I made that concession, not because he said you have to quit your job, but it felt like I can't do all of this. The minute we had kids, it was like, where are you going? And how far? And you start measuring, it's like, how many diapers did you change? And, oh, you're golfing? Yeah. Oh, you got time? Oh, you got time to golf? How you at the gym all the time? That was one of the rubs. My resentment for him was that Barack was prioritizing himself. Yes. And guess what? Little kids, they're terrorists. So you turn that ire on each other.
You're surprisingly honest in the book about your wife's opposition to you running for president in 2008.
Well, I was like, why'd you do that? I mean, talk about that being a big gaping
transition
thing in our lives.
Over time, she made a conclusion that I shouldn't stand in the way of this, and she did so grudgingly. And the fact that I ended up winning didn't necessarily alleviate her frustration, because the toll it takes on families is real.
You shared that you went to marital counseling.
I took Barack to marital counseling so that they fix him.
Yes.
And then he started looking over at me, and I was like, why are you talking to me? Counseling helped me to look at how do I take control of my own happiness within our marriage.
He can't be responsible for my happiness. I have to be responsible for that. My husband is definitely a part of that, but he is not. I cannot put him in the center of my happiness. That freed me up to let him be him and let me be me.
The fact that she put up with it and forgave me was an act of grace that I am grateful for, and I'm not sure I deserved it.
What would you say are Michelle's best personality traits?
Her sense of humor. She is very funny. I mean, anybody who gets to know her, she can really make you laugh. Now, sometimes it's at my expense.
In 2004, right before the convention, this was the first time where I was addressing 15, 20 million people, TV audience. I said to Michelle, I'm a little nervous. She said, listen, honey, I just want you to know one thing. Don't screw it up. You know?
What she's explained to me is that she's allowed to tease me, but I'm not allowed to tease her.
Oh, no.
No, that's sort of a rule of our marriage that I've abided by.
And it seems to work.
It's worked so far.
Does he bounce ideas off you?
The thing I just remind him is that who he is more than what we need, and to just relax, try to enjoy this, and be himself and tell the truth.
Are there times when you disagree?
I never win a debate at home. I mean, I haven't won that one yet.
E.T. sat down with the Obamas right before Barack won his second presidential term. By then, they'd learned a few secrets to staying connected.
We are religious about having dinner at 6:30 every night.
Do you have a policy of how long you can be apart? Do you make sure it's not over a certain amount of days?
We usually aren't apart more than 2 days. You know, the nice thing is that in the White House, we both live above the store, so no matter how busy we are, we can always see each other as long as we're in town. I suspect we're like a lot of couples who've been married for 20 years and who've got kids, which is that the love deepens.
He's getting poetic.
Turn
around.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah. Listen to that.
It's steadier. It has a lot fewer lows, and the highs that you get really have to do with knowing the life you've built together. But the one thing I will say is that she falls asleep at like 9. Well, that's a problem. The problem is she's sleepy.
Oh, man.
We have to go and tuck her. Let's go tuck Mom in. She's about to go to bed.
I can't stand. When this is all over, then we'll be able to take a breather and, go out to dinner and, just sort of catch up and, remember us.
Today, Barack and Michelle are both embracing their privacy and newfound freedom.
I want to know what your life and your social life looks like right now.
Man, it is whatever I want, Sophia. It's whatever I want. It's the
I love it for
first
you so
time
much.
in my life that all of my choices are for me.
She has a successful podcast. He's working on part 2 of his memoir. They share the production company Higher Ground, and they're both contributing to his presidential museum, set to open in 2026. But have they hit another rough patch? Split rumors started swirling in early 2025 when Michelle missed 2 major public moments: Donald Trump's inauguration and President Jimmy Carter's memorial.
There's former President Barack Obama.
This couldn't be a grown woman just making a set of decisions for herself, right?
Right.
I mean, so much so that this year people were, they couldn't even fathom that I was making a choice for myself, that they had to assume that my husband and I are divorcing.
Yeah, Michelle is slamming the speculation and spreading the word that a strong partnership takes lots and lots of work.
As I have told young people who ask me about marriage, I was like, you have to be prepared to have long stretches of discomfort. You're going to have decades of, I don't know if I like you, but you don't quit on it, right? You learn from it.
I'm still perfecting myself, my relationship. We're going to be doing that until the day we die. We're going to be learning and growing and get mad and restarting all the way through. That is marriage, right?
I was in a deep deficit with my wife, so I have been trying to dig myself out of that hole by doing occasionally fun things.
We've made a lot of mistakes. We've gotten it wrong, and it gets better and better and better. I wouldn't trade in my marriage for anything in the world. If we hadn't hung in there, we would have missed all the good.